We're up. We're up and running. We are up and running. Oops. See how many people are out there today, this afternoon. It's a hot Saturday. Hi, August. How are you? Can you hear me okay? Hi, Fox and Faye. How are you? Just going to wait for a little bit more people to show up, and then we're going to start talking about Gypsy. Oh, Sunday. Sorry. Yeah. Jeez. I've lost track of days. I'm telling you, I've lost track of days. Hi, Nurse Lynn. Hi, Donna. I'm glad you guys could make it. Hi, Renee. I got the ticker on the screen, guys. If anybody wants to come up and talk, it's all up to you. Hi, Diane. Oh my God, couldn't spit that one out for some reason. Hi, Christine. Good morning or good afternoon here. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. I wanted to talk about Ken talking about CPS. Now, everything he said, in my opinion, sounded so mumble jumbled. Like he was talking like he was making it up at the same time as he went, you know. Hi, Kane. Hey, Cherokee girl, how are you? Glad you could make it, girl. Gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Cherokee girl. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, did anybody else think that live was really weird? Like he was making it up as he went, right? Saying, "Oh, CPS came out, and yeah, they looked in the fridge and they looked around the house, and weird things like that," and just talking like bullshit out his butt, like, "Oh, they took hair samples. They took what did he say? They took blood? I can't remember if he said they took blood." But if they had to give blood, then they would have had to went to a clinic, right? So he said they did everything at the house. Hi, Alice. Glad you could make it. Yeah, the hair. Yes, definitely. There is no mention of the baby in the divorce papers, and I mentioned that a long time ago. Actually, right after the divorce, I mentioned that, and it kind of got swept under the rug because most content creators just automatically assume there was a baby, even though the pregnancy was really weird, up and down, no belly, and all this stuff, right? Hi, Sharon. Hi, Eva Olive. I'm glad you guys could make it. Yeah, I think Gypsy was prompting him as well. I think she was like, he kept looking over at her like she was coaching him, like, no, don't say that or whatever, If he's tutti frutti, he's rotten. Good one. Good one. He's a smelly old melon. But anyway, yeah, that things aren't adding up. And now with the move to Texas is really making me wonder if they're trying to get out of Dodge because too many people there know them, right? So it's not even like they can sit outside in the backyard without having a child there, right? Because how else are you going to explain it unless you say, child has grandmas or whatever, right? Yeah, Case thinks there's a baby. He doesn't like to talk about the fact that there's no baby. He's more, he thinks we're conspiracy theorists, there's a few content creators out there that think we're conspiracy theorists. But if they look at all of the evidence, I think they would start going, I mean, they were all on board. There was no baby when the pregnancy was up and down and all around. They were all, oh, maybe she's faking it. She's faking it. She's faking it. But as soon as like she says there's a baby, oh, okay, never mind. She's not faking it. She's got a baby. Don't you find that really weird? Yeah, he said, I remember on his other live, he said something about he was scared for his family. He was scared for himself first. Then he was scared for Gypsy and he put Aurora last. I'm sorry, but if I'm saying I'm scared for my family, I'm going to say my children first. You know, it's just really weird. Amplified sound, what does that mean? Am I echoing? Alice, am I echoing? I'm sorry, I'm on my phone, so, and it's an Android. I checked my mic, though. It said it's working. Rose's lives are fattening. Are you eating as you're listening? Oh, chocolate and peanut butter. Yeah, that's always a good choice. Don't even go there. I could use some of that right now. I need some sweet to give me energy because seriously, I have like no energy anymore. Okay, I'm glad I'm not echoing. I wasn't sure because last time I was on my tablet and I was using my headphones with the mic on it, and when it came back to being redone on TikTok on YouTube, somebody said they couldn't hear me at all. So I don't know. It was weird. This time I got to remember to put the chat in with it. I don't know why. I think I was just in a hurry and I forgot to add the chat, thinking it was automatically going to be there. Oh, Ken's mic. Yeah, yeah. I don't think it would have mattered if either way. You could understand him in the first one, but that other one where he was like sniffing like crazy was just. It was so scrambled. His thoughts, his everything he was talking about just seemed so random. Yeah. Also, I also heard that a lot of people are going on board now with that sniffing thing being a vape. Even though we have proven time and time and time again that vapes don't make that sound. Then they're saying, oh no, it's the older vapes with the coils and all that. I got one of those and it doesn't make that sound. Plus, he was using one of those disposable vapes and they're really quiet. Who's the professional grifter? Ken? Yeah. Ken and Ryan are kind of neck and neck in that. Actually, I think Ryan's a better grifter than Ken. He offers cameos and all the kinds of stuff, and he wants gifts thrown at him on TikTok. And I think it was even worse when he took that challenge from Ken, saying that he would go 30 days without talking about them. Well, that didn't last, but uh, when he was when he was doing that, he asked for more stuff than usual, I think. Oh, August, I'm so sorry. Oh, there's nothing worse than being in like a hospital or something and you can't have a puff. I'm telling you, been there, done that. That's the worst. You'd think they would put a patch on you, though. Here in Canada, they put a patch on you if you're in the hospital and you're a smoker so that you don't, what do you call it? What's the word? Jones. The street word for it, Jones. No, he didn't exhale like he did with the vape. And when he exhaled with the vape, you didn't hardly see any smoke either. Makes me wonder if it was, he was just, I don't know. trying to make it sound good. That's all he was doing. Because look, I got a vape right here. I could puff on it right now. You guys tell me if you hear it. Did you hear it? Nope. Yeah, withdrawal. Thank you, Alice. Sometimes I get brain farts. But yeah, they would put a patch on you so that you wouldn't get withdrawals in the hospital. No, they don't sound like that. And plus, he had that sound like a reverb through a straw. Everybody knows when you get to the bottom of your pop can or whatever, and you're still sucking through the straw and you get that kind of noise. That's what I kept hearing when he did that. It's like empty straw. You hear empty straw. Oh, because he had to prove his point, because he had to make sure that we're all not thinking that, they're doing the snow. But it's like Gypsy when I was on the thing yesterday talking about Aurora, and she came on right away saying, "Look, here's my CPS papers." Some of you saw it, but by the time I went back to go screenshot it, it was gone. It peed me off, but she had taken it off. She had erased all her messages, but I still had the message that she messaged me through Gmail, which I showed you guys this morning. That's the only message I got. She never messaged me after. I didn't message her back either. So I just screenshotted her message and I had blocked her. I don't want to have to put up with that BS. No thanks. Yeah, Ken does hang. He does. He owns the whole damn ski lodge. She really gets hung up on the fact that we keep saying there's no baby. And if there is a baby, why would you get hung up on that? You would just let us think what we think, right? Yeah, if you're an inpatient, you're allowed to go out for a smoke every now and then. But if you're like in a room, you can't unless you want to go all the way down the stairs and outside. If you're not hooked up to an IV, it's okay. If you're hooked up to an IV, it's pain in the butt. Snow in Peru, yeah. Gypsy Panty Crust has it on her shorts. Yeah, I think a lot of people have it now because they've copied it, but you can tell he was like blowing, it was sucking up through an empty straw. You could just hear it. And the people that can't hear that are tone deaf. They must be. Hi, Justice with Mercy. How are you? Cindy, hi. She won't prove it. She can't prove it unless she actually shows an actual child. And if she shows an actual child and it's not hers and she's saying it's hers, the parents of that child can sue her. Put it that way. She's not going to take that chance. So still pictures are the only way to go because if you block out the face, you can't see what the child looks like and nobody can prove it's theirs. But somebody said you can take stickers off those pictures. I don't know. I don't know. You're hearing impaired and you heard it. Good. See? You should tell Case that. Yeah, our party years. Those were the days, eh? The 80s were a fun time. I've never done it. I think once when I was like 15 or 16, somebody sprinkled it into a J and I might have smoked it, but I've never ever did it any other way. And I don't think I've ever did it knowingly because I don't even remember if they actually did that or not. My memory's going from the 80s, fun times. Who doesn't say anything good about Aurora? Stacy? Who's Stacy? Hi, Blair. How are you? Yep, you caught me live. Hi, Emily. Well, yeah, Ivory Rose Girls Wild. She said a while back where they were getting all their rugs from. Um, she said, "Oh, Christy gets it off her niece or nephew or something, and another one gets it off a cousin. And hi, Sonia. Glad to see you here. Hi, Rachel, Christine, Angela. Trying to get all the people I missed. Caddy or Katie? I think it's Katie. I'm going to go with Katie. Peppermint Patty, Janet. Hey, Janet. Yeah, if CPS was called because of that and they saw the actual video, then there would have been hell to pay. If there was a real child, there would have been hell to pay. Hi, Annie. There's no way they could have got around if CPS heard that video. I'm sure they've heard stuff like that all the time. People, they catch people on their phones doing it, and then they call CPS on the people afterwards, So I'm sure CPS has heard it. You can't shut first-time moms off. No offense. That's normal. No. If a first-time mom, all they do is talk about their child. Okay, I know. I've been there. I thought I was an expert after 6 months. Oh, I could tell any mother how to do it. You know what I mean? But Gypsy rarely talks about her. She doesn't talk about how she plays, how she's learning to scoot around the floor or lift herself up on the furniture, or remember that trip to Texas where it didn't even look like she was holding her own bottle, that Gypsy was holding it for her? Well, dolls can't hold their own bottle, right? I'm sorry, but when my kids were like 4 weeks old, they were reaching for it. Even as I was holding it, they were still reaching for it. They know that's where substance comes from. Substance. I made a boo-boo earlier saying, what, emancipated when it should have been, oh God, now I can't even say it because I got emancipated in my head now. Emanciated. There we go. Sometimes words sound too familiar and you have to pick one and you just go with the wrong one. Yes, they are required to tell authorities. Plus, a lot of people are going with this GUN thing. So they're like, well, he says they have them all locked up, but she's not allowed to be around them because she's a felon. But then some people are saying, oh, no, you're allowed to be around them as long as they're locked up. So now here in Canada, we're not really legally allowed to have guns, GUNs, unless it's for hunting. So I'm not sure the laws all around you guys get for that, but I do know if you're a felon, you're not supposed to be around them. Yeah, I did the same thing, Cindy. I did the same thing. My older son didn't walk till he was 13 months. So I mean, right around the same time as your son. But my younger son was 11 months when he started. He didn't walk. He ran. I always said that he never learned to walk. He just ran. Oh, I know, Stacy. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night either. Not knowing that they're in the house and she's in the house. No, especially not knowing that she tried that with her mother with the BB one. Scary thought. You go to bed at night. You don't know if you're going to get up in the morning. That's exactly it. She's not allowed to be around them. So why would he say, oh, they checked to make sure that they were all locked up safe? If they were there, they would have called the police, knowing that she's not allowed to be around them, right? I would think so anyway. You think he's tempting her with those, Michelle? I don't know. You think CPS is following their socials? You think so? Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why she took down her TikTok. Because you know that art TikTok thing where she had 9.5 million followers? It's gone. It's gone, or she put it in hiding. One or the other. but it's not there anymore because she lost a lot of followers. A lot of followers are like, we're not following an art page. Oh my God, she can ride her bike. Oh, that's great. Is it a tricycle or a two-wheeler? My youngest son was about 3 when he was riding his two-wheeler. But Ryan and Ken should research. What? Oops, chat's going too fast. I would be terrified. Ryan and Ken should have researched her, but Didi killed her. Yeah, you would think that they would have. You would think. Thank you, Charity. Cherokee girl for gifting another membership. You're a doll. We love you. No, I know. Ken should be allowed. Well, Ken, I'm sure, is allowed around them. He didn't do anything. But Gypsy, I'm sure, I'm positive, almost 100% sure that she's not supposed to be around them. But there's other people saying that she can be. So why are they saying that she can be? Is there in certain states different laws? I don't know. If she did a parenting class, then she would have mentioned it, I'm sure. Because she got in so much crap over not buckling that kid up in the car seat, remember? That's another thing. If that was a real baby, do you think that baby would have been done better in that car seat than the one she showed everybody? I think Ken would have made sure. If not Gypsy, Ken would have made sure that child was strapped in that seat. Yeah, Ken's getting unhinged, I think. He's going over the edge. Hi Belinda, how are you? Hi Main chick. You're right under me. Geographically. That didn't sound good. Uh, no, she probably can't afford her followers. Well, that's another thing. A lot of people saying because of a lot of bots on her account that she didn't pay for them and they all left. So last I heard, she had 300 and something followers on her 9.8 million follower account. Now, I don't know for sure, so don't take it as word because she blocked me a long time ago and I can't see anything. But I read what everybody else puts. Louisiana state laws restrictions during probation, parole, a felony conviction suspends the right to own or possess a firearm. Whoops, hang on, things going up here. While on probation or parole. Waiting parole after completion of sentence. So does that mean after parole she could? I don't think so because even after parole, felony is still going to be on her her charts. It's still going to be on there. You know what I mean? That's not going nowhere forever. She's got that forever. I'm glad you can make it, Susan. Hi, Drew. Shorty Pie. Just saw you. Shorty Pie. Yeah, I don't really watch a lot of Knights combo stuff. I watched it at the beginning when I first started my channel. I really don't watch them that much anymore. I don't know. Well, I heard that too, that it was way under 1 million, but I heard it was like 300 and something. But I got that off of another content creator, not Knights Combos. Yeah, I agree, Noreen. Same thing. She shouldn't. be allowed around GUNs because of her past. That's it. That's all. I mean, there shouldn't even be a question of that. Be careful because some want to go live with them. What do you mean? They're not going to be live here. No. A lot of people like putting them up on their stage because it brings in the crowd. Okay. I'll just put it up front. It brings in viewers. It brings in gifts. It brings in a lot of stuff. And when the live is over and they post it onto their stuff, people are still going to keep coming in and watching it. I won't do that. I'm not bringing up anybody from that side of the camp on my panel knowingly anyway. If accidentally somebody comes in that I didn't know was from their side of the camp and starts spewing stuff, they're gone. That's it. End of story. Hi, Sintaz. How are you? Glad you could make it. I haven't seen you in ages. Hi, Edna. No, I won't knowingly bring anybody from that side of the camp on my panel. By the way, guys, I have, hang on. I have the link. If you guys want to come up, anybody wants to come up, you can come up. Just in case. No, she can't be around GUNs. No. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, she's moving. I know she's moving, and I think she's moving. Somebody said to Austin, Texas, but I'm not sure exactly the whereabouts. But I think it's in Texas, period, anyway. Um, she's probably going to think that nobody will recognize her out there. But meanwhile, she was out there doing live. So, I mean, not that she's like that infamous where a lot of people around her will know her. No, a lot of people around her just, they won't know her. And if she's lucky, she can get away with, not being able to show a child for a long time outside anyway. Hi, Mommy B. I hope Texas doesn't play with her. Seriously, I don't. They say everything's bigger in Texas. I hope the law enforcement's bigger there. You're late, Noel. Noel, sorry. That's okay. We just started like 28 minutes ago, so you're not that late. My niece has a boyfriend in Texas. She goes there every 3 months to visit him. No, I'm glad she didn't know either, Angela. Seriously, you don't want your kids or grandkids, well, my kids are grown, but my grandkids knowing of her, period. I mean, even when my grandkids get older, because right now they're fairly young, under 6. So if they get older, I would not mention her name around them. Even though I do her on YouTube, I will still not mention her name around them. No, she shouldn't have blown all her money. But, she thought, she thought she was set for life being on socials and making all this money. She thought she was set for life doing the what do you call it, reality show. I think she thought that would go on for the next 15 years, like Sister Wives or something, like she's that famous. Well, Ryan and Ken think they're that famous too. So I mean, they're delusional. They're just plain delusional. Hi, Anno girl. English, impasse. Sorry, English. Where did I get English? I'm glad you could make it. Hi, Do Willow. How are you? Yeah, exactly, Drew. When you bank on lies, man, your money going to run out real fast, real fast. Let me tell you. That's the thing. See, this is my theory. My theory is she thought that her reality show was going to go on for years, and it didn't. So now she's trying to make her own reality show, and it's tanking badly. I mean, this thing is a sinking ship. But she thinks because if she can produce what they were trying to do, which is drama, right? We all know that reality shows have to put out drama. That's where they get their viewers from. And she's trying to imitate the same thing. I'm trying not to fall for the drama so much and trying to stick to the reality of things, but it's hard, guys. It's hard, especially when there's way more drama than there is the reality stuff, you know? No, she'll never have a quiet life. But you know what? After a while, it's going to catch up with them. Not just the lies, but also what's behind the scenes that we know they're doing that, well, of course, will never come to light unless actually somebody sees them and pictures them doing it. Who has a video up asking for help? Oh, Nadatha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that. Yeah, she's trying to get her children back. She's got a GoFundMe going um, to help bring her children home. I think it's for a lawyer or something. But you know what? I have to say, guys, that sounds so familiar. Does that not sound familiar to you? The GoFundMe for a lawyer? I mean, I like Nadatha, don't get me wrong, but I don't like the same situation that we had last time. And look what happened, right? Oh, thank you, UM4D. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I really do. That's right, Angela. We don't really see what happens off camera. I'm sure there's way more drama because when these emails started coming out, and now Christy can see what Gypsy was saying about her behind her back to her father, and what her father was saying about Christy behind her back to Gypsy. I'm sure that wasn't, a lot of nice Sunday dinners after that. But then, Christy goes out and puts out this video with her and Rod, hugging or dancing or whatever, saying, you can't break us and blah, blah, blah. Then she's just as delusional as the rest of them, if not more so. Belinda, you know how she's going to pull it off? By moving. And she's going to keep moving you, till nobody recognizes her anymore. And she can just say, she never had a child. That it was all of whatever. But she did put out a while back. Remember, she was talking about SIDS. She was in the bathroom doing a live and she was saying, oh, I'm so scared about SIDS. That's why I have to check on her all the time, because who the hell brings that up when you have a baby? That's the last thing you want to think about is SIDS when you have a baby. It's almost like if you mention it, you're inviting it. So you don't mention it. So she mentions it. Oh, for sure, she'll end up back in prison for something. For something, for sure. Oh, thank you, Rain, for a super chat. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it, girl. I was going to say something. It totally went out of my brain. What was I going to say? Oh, about the baby growing older. And as long as she keeps moving and she tries to think she's going to outsmart everybody by moving around, in the neighborhood she's in, nobody knows her, so she can get away with it for a while until people start calling out the neighborhood she's in, and then she'll have to move again and just keep moving and keep moving. But what kills me is she's there selling off all this baby stuff, right? And yet she says she wants another child. Who sells baby stuff when you thinking about having another child? Nobody. We all know you use what from your older child to your next child, unless there's like a great big age gap, and you're not sure you're going to have another child. She uses the bathroom as her art studio. I like that. Yeah, instead of using a straw to blow it around, she uses her blow dryer. That's hilarious. Right? We pass everything down. Cribs, clothes, the little bouncy thing, toys, That's what we do. Who's gonna spend money? You're gonna okay, you're gonna sell everything you had from your first child. 2 years down the road, you have another child and you have nothing. You gotta start all over again. Hi Izzy, how are you? Glad you could make it. Hi Ali. Ali Arpa? Ali Arpa? Is that how you pronounce it? I'm not bad. I'm not bad. Mom was in the hospital this morning in the wee hours of the morning. Um, she was just feeling a little bit short of breath, so they put her on some oxygen and gave her some saline to make sure she was what do you call it? Hydrated. She's back home now. She's sleeping, so she's okay. Oh, thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. So Gypsy is going on Dancing with the Stars or not? I don't know. It's just been a long time rumor now, so I'm not sure about that. I heard she has a problem like with her spine or something. How the hell can she dance? Yeah, there's no way she'd be able to practice that many hours of the day. Gypsy can't work for 8 hours. Imagine her doing Dancing with the Stars. I'm with you, Anna. God, no. So case study said she is, but did she say she is? I don't know. Oh, maternity clothes, you got to keep that. You really got to keep. Doesn't matter if they're out of style, man. You got to keep those things because you know what's comfy. You know what's comfortable when you're pregnant. You know what I mean? You know what dresses and slacks or whatever to keep, right? Like you don't let that shit go. It would be funny to watch her dance. Yeah, it would be. Seriously. Uh, who got banned from OF? Gypsy wasn't on OF, was she? I heard she wanted to be. So is that what she has, Shorty Pie? Scoliosis? That's the curvature of the spine, right? Yeah, I did the same, Kathleen. I kept mine and added to it. Me having two boys, it was so easy, even though they're almost 5 years apart. I was so glad that I kept it closed because, you never know with the second one if it was going to be a boy or a girl. If it had been a girl, then I would have got rid of the boy clothes and bought girl clothes, right? I tell you one thing. Shorty Pie and Gypsy's Panty Crust would have a heyday if they saw Gypsy on Dancing with the Stars because they could make so many memes with that. It's not funny. I love their memes. It's hilarious. Yeah, penguins would be more graceful. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know if he is, guys. I can't say one way or the other if he's working with them or not, but I do know he did uh was going to say that he was going to put all these receipts out there, and I've yet to see any, except for those pictures of the baby, supposed baby, with the face blanked out. Pictures he never asked for, but she gave to him anyway. That was the only thing he put out there. Can you imagine? No, she's not built to work. She's built to connive and deceive and lie and grift. That's what she's built for. Yeah, a lot of creators out there are doing their own thing. You know, I can't speak for all of them. I still watch a lot of them because, you know, being a content creator, we kind of juggle off each other with ideas and stuff. That's just how it goes. But some of them are not flip flopping so much as just changing their points of view in certain things. When did she give birth? December, supposedly. Some people say it was earlier. Some people say September, November or something, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, I had the same picture that Morbid has. I showed it on one of my videos already, but now apparently that's not really her. So who knows? That's what I'm saying. They're just throwing out all these baby pictures. They all look different. They've all got different hair color. I understand a baby's hair can get lighter from dark and darker to light, but they can't go light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. They're not light bulbs. And how come the hair never grows? My kids weren't born with a whole lot of hair. That baby had more hair than my kids had, and my kids had to have haircuts at like 6 to 8 months old. Whoops. Supposedly she's 7 months old. Yeah, supposedly. Yeah, Kimberly, I understand. I really do. I understand. But you know what? Following a content creator is like watching a favorite show. If you like or connect with the people that you're listening to or watching, then you're going to stick around. If that person changes, like when you take a main character out of a show, then you're not going to watch anymore, even though the show is still running, right? I mean, just it makes things different. But I mean, it's totally up to you guys who you watch. I don't put nobody down for watching anybody else. You know what I mean? Unless you're on Gypsy's camp, then you'll hear it from me. Mm, I don't know if it was your channel or somebody else's channel today. Christy showed Case a picture of the baby. Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, yeah. I saw that already. Yeah. I didn't put that picture on my video because I don't know whose baby that is. The face is covered. It could be anybody's baby. Could be the neighbor's baby. Could be that grandma's holding another grandbaby from somewhere or something. Nobody knows. And you can't prove it. How are you supposed to prove it? Right? That's something that's very difficult to prove with a picture. That's why I don't put stock in 100% in a picture. You know what I mean? They're not going to send me a picture and I'm going to say, "Oh, okay, that's her." Yeah, you're right. No, I'm not. Yeah, Gypsy's not I can't see her being maternal one bit. Not one bit. Did you see her when they did that live when she was holding the baby on the couch? She looked like somebody just handed her a full-grown German Shepherd and she didn't know where to put her hands. Who does that when your child's 4 months old? By the time your child is 2 weeks old, you're carrying them around like a football. You know exactly how to hold them. You know exactly how they like to be held, sorry. But she was going around like so awkward, like Edward Scissorhands holding a puppy. That's a good analogy, actually. You guys are still talking. You talking about Nadetha and her kids? Like I said, I don't know the ins and out about that one, so I can't say one way or another, guys. I mean, it's totally up to you if you want to give to GoFundMe, but it's sketchy. Let's just put it that way. After the billboard incident, I'd say it's sketchy. It's actually, you know what? I'm very disappointed about the billboard situation because I was really for that, you know? And then to have it then come out that she's, taken all this money, And apparently somebody told me her husband bought her a truck. So there's that. Yeah, like the colic. Set up a camera, get the baby up and crying in front of the camera so I can show everybody. And they'll feel sorry for me and send me money so I can buy stuff for colic. Maybe that's what it was for. Crazy. I agree, Janet. I agree. I don't trust a lot of them too, but I still follow them anyway. Like I said, I get content from other creators sometimes, like not content, but ideas. Because there's some things they'll see that I didn't see, and vice versa, kind of bounce off each other. Hi, Downton Gabby. I like your name, Downton Gabby. I love Downton Abbey. That was I love that series. I really did. I heard, in my opinion, the best thing for colic is like a hot water bottle, but not hot, hot, obviously. Thank you, Cherokee Girl, for gifting another membership. You're a star. You're up on screen. You are a star. She always gives memberships every live. But yeah, for colic, you can get hot water bottles made for babies so that it's not hot, hot. It's just like warm, and it soothes the stomach. It gets rid of the gas because that's really all colic is gas. That's why a lot of people use grape water. I use that for my kids as well. They didn't have colic though, but once in a while they would get gas. I don't even know why she had her children taken away. I think it was because she was in prison. I think her mother took them because she was in prison and she just hasn't given them back yet. The walking bounce usually works, but you got to watch that they don't put it all over you afterwards because of the bouncing. My first son was such a pukey baby. He would drink 4 ounces and puke up two. I swear, I felt like I was always feeding him. He never gained weight. Well, he gained weight, but you know what I mean? He was never a chubby baby. You're right, Frog Scratch. If she had a mother, she would have a grandmother to go for advice. But then she went to Christy for advice. She told us, right? Yeah, somebody else said Flawless Nina lost her kids too. I don't know. I mean, sometimes she has them in her lives, but I haven't watched Flawless Nina in ages, ages. So I don't know if she did or not. A doll can't get colic. Shorty pie, you're hilarious. Nope, a doll, unless it's like baby alive. Sometimes food will stick in that tube in their stomach, because you can actually feed those dolls. There are dolls out there you can actually feed, and they'll actually drink milk and they'll actually poop. So, I mean, there's so much things now dolls can do that, yeah, would make people second guess if it's a real baby or not. A lot of people don't watch her anymore because, she went on a tangent. Okay, so she gave them to her mother to adopt. Well, that's not good. Never sign paperwork, man. No, never sign paperwork. If you're going to sign paperwork for your kids to be handed over to somebody permanently, like adoption, you're going to have a hard time getting them back. I'm just saying. She's going to need a lot of money for lawyer fees. Yeah, joint custody is usually the way to go, right? But I don't know if Nadesa's kid's father was even in the picture. I don't know. Tangent is over. Hi, Steve. Oh, I'm glad you can make it. I just noticed you there. Her tangent is over, so she doesn't bring that up anymore. Whoops. What did I do? There we go. For some reason, I lost my live here. All right. I lost my comments. Hang on, guys. I gotta find my comments. There we go. No, I don't see them. There. Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. Oh. There we go. Now I see it. Now I see it. Yeah, I was watching Toddy this morning. Apparently, she put one of my videos on her video this morning. I thought that was rather cool. Thanks to Cherokee Girl. She's the one that messaged me and told me she had me on there. I didn't even know Toddy watched my videos, actually. She still doesn't agree with the no baby theory, though. But we'll get her changed. Don't worry. We'll change that. If she watches more videos, she'll see all the evidence that we all have. What's illegal? Devon? What's illegal? I missed that. Oh, sorry. It's 1 p.m. Eastern time, Steve. I should have put that. I never think time zones. You know that? I'm sorry. You already know that we're not on the same time zone, Steve. You already know that. But next time I will remember to put p.m. Eastern time. Toddy said she wants to do a live with me? I didn't know. Yeah, she saw lack of growth too. Yeah. Maybe we can get her to switch her views. Who knows? Melissa Moore gave her money. That was shady to me. Who gave who money? Nadatha? Jenny. Unless it's another Melissa Moore. Oh. She did, Belinda? No way. Oh my God. Well, if Melissa Moore gave Nadatha money for her GoFundMe, man, something sketchy there. $300? No way. Oh my God. Oh boy. Well, now that's something to look for. That's food for thought, let me tell you. So Melissa Moore gave Nadatha $300 for her GoFundMe. Why is that? That's what you heard, eh? Or is that what you saw or what you heard? Because I know if you go on to a GoFundMe, you can see all the people who donated. I haven't opened it. I have no idea. That was not a verification on that account. Somebody said it could be a different Melissa Moore, but I don't know. Peanut butter horse. Oh, Leanne. How come your comments don't show? I can see you. That's really weird. Could be one of Gypsy's minions. True. True. And just use Melissa Moore's name? I don't know if that's legal. Is that legal? That's what I'm saying, Miss Invisible. It could be the one or it could be a different one. I don't know. It is a common name. It is a common name for sure. But does it show a picture? Like when you look under a GoFundMe and you see all the people that donated, can you see their picture beside it? To hell with both ivories. I don't. You think she's going to do a show on Nadatha? I don't know. Nadatha's not as notorious though, so I don't know why they would do a show on her. Yeah, $300 is a lot for a joke. You're right. You are right. There are a million Melissa Moores. You're right, but it's just weird that that name pops up in this community. Am I right? Because everybody knows that she's connected to this kind of community. So it's just weird that her name would pop up. But I hear what you're saying. There are a lot of people that open accounts and use other people's names as theirs, you know, for either the satire or whatever reason. No, I don't think there would be a Nadatha show either. She's not as notorious as Gypsy. Like her crimes are pretty insignificant compared to, you know what I mean? That's another thing, and yes, who doesn't spend money on their child's first Easter picture? That's a good point right there, because you want something to remember them by, and $85 is nothing compared to what, $1,000 pair of jeans or a $400 stroller, or all these other things that she just spends money on that she doesn't really need, but she won't spend $85 on an Easter picture. I think she doesn't want to hand the Easter bunny a doll. Scared that he would say, "Look, this baby's not breathing." Then it would be all over. So it's better just to say it's cost too much, right? You think her life would make a good story? I don't know, because I don't know all the ins and outs of her life. You know, I only know bits and pieces. Melissa's redemption project. Jip Jip, what? Jip Jip definitely. What? Wait. Where was I reading that? On Reddit, someone claimed Jip though was buying clothes at one point instead of washing. Yeah, I heard that too. She was just kind of throwing them away. She wouldn't wash them, wear them once, and throw them away. She has no sense of responsibility or anything like that when it comes to possessions. And maybe because her mother was a bit of a hoarder or something, made her think that she wants everything new all the time. I don't know. I don't know about that, or it could be she's just, airhead. That's the only way to put it. She's an airhead. Her husbands don't seem to work because they think they're too notorious to work. They think because they were married to her, that gave them some kind of stardom. That's why they don't work. They think they'll go to work and get flocked by all kinds of people because of who they're married to or with. Or at least Ryan does anyway. Well, Ryan's the one that works, but actually thinks he's superstar. Kevin, Ken doesn't work or doesn't want to work. And I don't think Gypsy wants him to work anyway, not in a bar where there's women and stuff. You know how freaking jealous she can be. Steve is Gypsy's uncle? What? Steve, are you Gypsy's uncle? I didn't know that. Fess up. I'm with you, Peppermint Patty. I like Nadatha, don't get me wrong. I'm just very tainted now when it comes to GoFundMe's. There's been a few out there that didn't actually have the best intentions when it came to those. So when I see that, I tend to be like, I don't know. I don't know. Not that I don't not like her, because I do. I just don't like the GoFundMe thing, you know? Oh, there are no pics. Becca donated too. I could see Becca donating to it though. I really could. But why would Melissa Moore do it when obviously Nadetha's a gypsy hater, you know? So I don't see why. Oh, okay, Steve said no, Janice. He's not her uncle. Got to show receipts, Steve, in this community. You got to show receipts. You're not her uncle. Yeah, Steve's a cool dude. No $10 Tuesday here. No, no $10 Tuesday here. Oh, gosh. Devil's advocate. Melissa Moore seems like a common name. It is a common name. It is. Plus, people steal these names all the time just so that they can get followers and stuff like that. Yeah, only $59.99 if you order today. You will have it by tonight. Oh my God. You know what? When he said that, he really did sound like one of those infomercials. It was hilarious. Oh my God. But you're right. You know what? His laugh is really getting on my nerves too, though. You know that? Like, he just, he tries to make this big belly laugh, like, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying. What's the matter, peanut butter? You what? What? Why don't you want to voice your opinion? I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the chat, but a lot of it's going up fast. So I get one and I answer it. Next thing you know, 20's gone up. So I'm sorry if I can't see it or I didn't see it in time. So Amber, you actually think there is a baby then? You just think something's wrong with her. The thing is, though, there can be things wrong with a child, but you know what? The ones that stunt growth in a child are very, very rare. And if that's the case, I think she would have used that to grift. Seriously. Just like her mama did and her grandmama did. You use the sicker ones to push in the money, the income. You know what I mean? So if her baby was not well, I think she would use that baby. Definitely. Thank you, Cherokee Girl, gifting another membership. You rock. You rock. Who's not blocked? Your account is still blocked? What do you mean your account is blocked? I didn't block you. Oh, shoot. I'll have to go back and look at that, Leanne. I have to look. Maybe I did it by accident. I don't know, but I didn't do it intentionally. Trust me. At one point, I was blocking some people when all this crap started going down, and I might have done it by accident. I'm sorry if I did. I'll go check it after this live, okay? Yep, a felon is a felon is a felon. I get it. She is worried about what everybody else says about the baby. I really get that. Oh, thank you, Steve, for the super chat. Thank you so much. You're a star. You're up on screen. See, I chat with Steve every day. We know we're in different time zones. That's why I don't think he got the 1 o'clock thing. Who said something was wrong? You guys are talking to each other. I'm losing the conversation. It's a what is it, Ryan? If she actually had a baby, if it's real, and it's actually with her, has her deletion and it blows her abuse story narrative. It's true. It's true. But even though Gypsy had the deletion, she may have been a little bit smaller than the average baby, but she still grew and her hair still grew. You know what I mean? It's like this one that she's got there. I'm not going to say anything, but the hair is not growing. The arms and limbs still look like a chunky little babies. It doesn't look like, she's almost ready to be a toddler. Becca Morbid, I have her picture too. I have the same picture that they sent to Morba. Morbid, sorry, Morbid. I went to Becca and Morbid at the same time I went with Morba. But I have the same picture. And apparently that's not really her. I think that was a picture they put out that they wanted everybody to think was her. And that they wanted everybody to think that that child had microdeletion. That would help push in the money. Everybody would be watching, listening, checking, all this stuff. I actually believe that. No, I don't believe she got pregnant. No, I don't either. Because why would she be visiting a fertility clinic if she thought she could get pregnant so fast, naturally? There's a lot of people that go to fertility clinics end up pregnant on their own, but it usually years later down the road. You know what I mean? Most of the time after they've given up, that's when they find out that they're really pregnant. Do you think Raina adopted a child for Ken and Gypsy? I don't think that's legal though. Oh, I don't know, Leanne. I think that's a little out there. I think that'd be very illegal. If somebody adopted a baby and then gave it to somebody else, I don't think that would work. Yeah, no doctors, no nurses, no general public that know them, even if it's just neighbors, don't say anything about a baby, right? A lot of people come into my chat and they say, not my chat, my comments, and say, there is a baby. I know there's a baby. Stop saying there's no baby. And first thing I say to them was, okay, so when did you see it? When did you hold it? Was she awake? I never hear an answer back. Never. It always just goes empty after that. So, I mean, well, there's a lot of people out there that can say there's a baby, but nobody can prove it. Nobody can prove that there's a real baby. And Gypsy she's so good at, faking documents and stuff that they could put out a blood test saying that, Aurora's name, their names, both names, everything, the whole 9 yards. And I probably still wouldn't believe it because she's done it so many times. She's put out documents before that she's faked. The boy who cried wolf, I'm telling you, you lie and you fake things so much, nobody's going to believe anything that comes out of your mouth. Nothing. No, she would be 8 months at the end of this month. If Aunt Edna, she would be 8 months at the end of this month if she was born December, because this is the eighth month now of the year. But she would be okay. Sorry, no, 9 months at the end of the month. Yeah, 9 months at the end of this month. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, her documents don't mean nothing to me either, Cindy. I'm telling you, it's like she's just. And even the one that she put on my screen, we all saw it long enough to see that there looked like a square box around her name. You know what I mean? How it looks when you're photocopying something and you want to put something over top of it. That's what it looked like. And when I went back to take a screenshot, she took it off. Oh, a lot of people go up to Gypsy all the time, though. A lot of people want pictures with Gypsy all the time, right? It's like, oh, can I take a picture of you and your baby? But I won't put it on social media. And then they do, right? But I haven't seen any of that. Hey, you never know, Leanne. You never know. That's probably what they were doing on that site. Who knows? Who knows? I wouldn't put nothing past them. I understand that. Okay, I understand that people that have growth problems, like you said, she had microdeletion. She was 3 feet tall, right? Fine. But she has to progress up to that 3 feet tall at some point. You don't start growing what, at 1 or 2 years of age. That's when you start growing. So you're actually looking like a newborn until then. That's what I mean. A baby still grows, but we haven't seen any difference. Nothing, none, zero, nada. And by the looks of the baby in the pictures that they're trying to pull off as hers, that baby looks pretty normal to me. It looks pretty healthy. Beefy arms, beefy legs, hair, good sized head. Looks pretty normal to me. There is no reason why that baby should not be growing. Oh, thank you, Katie. Of course, I'm going to say hi. If I can catch people's names and there's not a lot of people in the chat, then I will call out your name. Not a problem. Hi, Elizabeth. I didn't see you before. And Frog Scotch. Are you Scottish by any chance, Frog? Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, if I see your names like when the chat's still low, I will call you out. But sometimes I don't see it; it goes up too fast. Hi, Zoe. Her pregnancy was super, 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 super sketchy. Okay, and remember that one video that she put out of her putting on that belly thing? It's supposed to support your belly. It's like a contraption you put over your belly, but it's supposed to help support your belly. That actually looked like a fake pregnancy belly to me. If I could find that video, I'm going to put it on tomorrow's video if I can find it. And I'll show you guys. Gypsy said what and slipped. What did she say, Zoe? Hi, Maria. How are you? Yeah, I put it in my video that I was going live. I didn't put a post out. I just put it at the end of my video that I was going live. But I said yesterday, too, that I was going live today, too. So I tried to give everybody enough heads up because I don't like putting the exact time because you never know in my house what's going to happen. Mom might need something at the store or, the dog needs out or whatever. Yeah, belly support. Exactly. That's what she was putting on. You remember that, right? She barely had a belly at that time, right? It was still looking like her chubby belly when she put that on. But it did look like one of those belly progression contraptions that you can get. Yeah, dwarfism babies, though, I mean, I've seen them on TV on those shows. They still grow. They still don't look like, they did at birth. They're still growing somewhat. You can see progression of growth, even if it's at a smaller pace than normal. You can still see it. But this one just went from being a newborn to being like 6 months old and has stayed that way all the whole time. It's just weird. It's still weird to me. Amber J is talking about gypsy. What is she saying? I don't know. I didn't see it. Oh, thank you, Anne, for the super chat. I appreciate it, hon. Exactly, Elizabeth. You still see growth, even if it's at a smaller pace than other children. You would still see it. There are certain conditions where I think I saw one where the girl was like 21, but she looked like she was 3. And that was a rare, rare, rare form of dwarfism. But she was also she was mute and she was deaf and she had a lot of problems. Poor thing. Yeah, exactly, Amber. Like her TikTok account getting hacked while she was giving birth. Now, a lot of people said that her TikTok account got hacked the day before she gave birth, but I was in that live when she said her TikTok account got hacked. And then I woke up the next morning to find out she gave birth. So that and when that live was at like 1 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning is when her she said her TikTok account got hacked. So I mean, yeah, something's not adding up here. Hi, Mama Bear. I'm glad you're listening. Just yeah, you can listen. That's good. Just pop in, say hi. I don't mind. Like I said, if I catch it, if I see it on the side here, I'll shout you out. But if I can't, if it goes too fast sometimes, or I'm fiddling around with something else, and when I go back, the chat just goes all the way up, and I miss like I don't know 50 comments. The neighborhood she lives in now has just old people. Is that what you're saying, Anne? Oh, really? So they don't even know her or what's going on about the whole thing. Is that it? So she can go outside whenever she wants and they don't really care, right? You were watching the Redskins games when your youngest was born? Well, my oldest, I got a funny story. My oldest was 2 days late and it was Thanksgiving. So he was supposed to have been born on the 10th of October, which is would have been 2 days before Thanksgiving. And the day I was pregnant, the day I was due, I was at a fair, a fall fair. And a lady asked me when I was due, and I looked at her and I said, today. And so she gave me a doll from one of the games, a really beautiful, like old time 1800s kind of doll with the big dress and everything. My mom still has it. And he turned out to be a boy. But anyway, I was eating Thanksgiving dinner on the Sunday because we always did because my mother wanted the Monday off, not to cook and whatever. And I went to ate dinner like no problem, went downstairs because I lived in the basement apartment, and I sat down on the couch and I just felt like daggers. I'm sorry, I didn't get no cramping pain, nothing like that. I got daggers right up the wahoo, and I was like, oh, something's wrong, and I had to go. And we went 2 hours later. He was born. I was only 2 hours in labor, but it was hard labor from the very get go. It was hard labor. Thank you, Floral Gal, through the super chat. Thank you so much, hon. I really appreciate that. Yeah, do you mean Amber J is friends with Gypsy? I don't think so. She likes to call Gypsy out. She likes to tell her, like, oh, message me. I'll tell you this. But it's all satire to her. She's all just doing it for fun. Your only son was 10 weeks early. Wow. Wow. I hope he was okay. You had to be induced 3 times, Elizabeth? Oh my God. Well, I was 2 days late with both my kids. Both of them decided to be 2 days late. They're a month apart and they're 2 days apart in the number of the month that they're in. Yeah, it's I got the 222 things with my son, and both of them. If you look at their baby pictures, they don't even know who's each other. That's how much they look alike. I show my youngest son, my older son, he thinks it's him, and vice versa. So when my younger says that says, so when my younger son says I don't have enough pictures of him, I show him pictures of his brother. He thinks it's him. Oh, I'm terrible, mom. I'm a terrible mom. No, I got plenty of pictures of both of them. That's funny though. But I remember one time he did point out a picture of his brother and he says, that's me? And I go, yeah. And he believed it. Hey, if you can't mess with your kids, what's the point of having them? Craziest thing that all of Gypsy's army think they are so doing smart when they point it's Gypsy's absurd comical thing. Yeah, it is to me too, Amber. I agree. I agree. All three of your babies were a month late. Oh my God. So you had 10-month-old babies or 10 months gestation. Two born at home? Oh my God, girl. You're a miracle. Never mind your babies. You're a miracle. CPS will not let Aurora be medically injected just because Gyp wants to deny the obvious, and CPS workers do have eyeballs. So, what do you mean injected? Oh, neglected. Sorry, I read that wrong. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? I'm looking at the screen. The writing is so small. Neglected. Sorry. You guys can all laugh at me. Yeah, see, we all remember our birth stories. I mean, just like they were yesterday. I can tell my grandkids how their fathers were born. Not a problem. I can tell them how I was born because my mother told me enough times. So maybe the trip to Austin was to scout out a place to live. You know what? I said the same thing. I was thinking the exact same thing. I don't think they were there to. Who's walking down a busy street like those guys, just walking around? They have a car, right? So I don't know. It's weird. It's just that was a little weird too. And then they went into the restaurant to eat. There was no baby stroller. They showed both sides of the table. There was no baby stroller there. So where was the baby? In the car? Uh, yeah, they wanted to be recognized, but they could have been recognized without the baby, and people would have said, "Hey, I just saw you on your live. You were walking down the street with the baby carriage. Where is she?" They would have to lie then, right? And say, "Oh, we left her with grandma." That's right, Maria. It's like, like I said before, when you have your first or your second or your third or whatever, that's all you talk about is your babies. That's your life. I mean, they take up 100% of your time. So, I mean, why would you not talk about them? I talk about my cats more than Gypsy talks about her baby. God. No, Anna, no, they have no shame. None whatsoever. Yeah, they bring the doll out for cosplay. It's true. It's true. When they got a little point to prove, they'll bring her out, put the AI on their freaking phone so it looks like she's moving. For fake labor pains. I've had worse indigestion. Oh my God. Yeah, she said, oh, what'd she say? She felt no pain. She had no pain. So how did she know she was in labor if she had no pain? Pain is what tells you you're in labor, right? Or a big gush of water, one or the other, right? And usually with the big gush of water, that's when the pain starts. I didn't have a water break. Anybody else not have a water break? They had to break my water both times. I had what they called bulging water, so it wouldn't break. I guess I make the casing too strong. The doctor had to break them both times. Yeah, why wouldn't she have the lifetime? I mean, she doesn't care who sees down there, so why wouldn't she have lifetime film it? That's another thing I don't understand. And she knows it would bring Lifetime big money, and Lifetime would have offered her big money if they could have been there too. Trust me. They did that with all the ladies in My Sister Wives. All the ones who had birth on the show all got paid handsomely. Oh, excuse me. Cody got paid handsomely. He just didn't give it to the one who gave birth. Aurora should be doing a lot of things. That's the thing, though, Floral Gal. She should be doing a lot of things. She should be, like, eating with her hands by now. I mean, remember putting down stuff on the high chair so your baby can eat it, some little piece of fruit or something like that. Something soft, not fruit, bananas maybe, something they can't choke on. But they feed themselves at that age with their hands. I mean, I don't know. It's just so weird. It's too weird for me to say that there's an actual baby. There really is. Just it's too out there. You're right, Anne. No baby. No baby. We're the no baby club over here. We have our own breakaway camp. They had to break your water too, Katie? Oh, and then you ended up with a C-section. Well, my sister had a C-section. You know what? I'd rather have them natural because C-sections are hard. They're hard. That's a lot of muscle that you have to regrow there again, you know? Oh, thank you, Cherokee Girl, for gifting another membership. Boy, she's a star today. She is my star. Oops, hang on. Oh, there we go. It's on screen. Who got the membership? Who got gifted? Fox and Faye. You were nursing at 8 months, and their heads were turning and hands were grabbling. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I wouldn't have been nursing at 8 months because my kids were teething at 3 months. My kids had two bottom teeth, both of them, at 3 months of age. Mind you, they started falling out earlier too, like when they were 6 or something. They started getting their adult teeth in. They were inducing you, Leanne? You had to be induced? Oh my gosh. Third time's a charm. Oh, I'm glad you got to be a mommy. You know, there's a lot of women out there that can't. And we don't realize sometimes how lucky we are that we could. Because if you were ever in for infertility or you couldn't conceive, it's oh my gosh, it's not a good place to be in your head. Because a lot of women think that they're not actual women if they can't have a baby. You know, it's just the way we think. But I think it doesn't matter if you adopt or you have one on your own, as long as you can nurture or care for another human being. That's like the best love there is. You tried coming up, a StreamYard is weird. Okay. Oh, hang on a second. I think I have to put it back up on screen. Hang on. Oops. Cancel. Hang on a second. Ugh. I have to put the ticker back up and then you can see it. There we go. Now try. I wonder, I don't know, maybe I can invite. Did you get it? Oh, you're in? Are you in? Can't tell. My screen is so small that it's hard for me to see anything. Okay, try and figure this out here. Uh, I don't see anything. I don't see anybody backstage. Are you backstage? Is it working? Oh, I'll unblock it. Leanne, don't worry about that. I'll remember. Don't worry. I don't know what happened there. I don't. I mean, there was a time when like all this crap was going down with Nina Morbid and all them guys that I started. I was blocking some people because they were actually coming on my thing saying bad things about these people when this wasn't the place for it. You know what I mean? And I might have done it by accident. I'm so sorry. Who was it that wanted to come up? I can't see you. If you're in, I can't see you. I'm going to have to get off live pretty soon anyway, guys. I'm going to have to go out and tonight I'm going to get some supper so nobody has to cook and my mom can, relax and calm down. And she had high blood pressure when she went to the hospital this morning. So just trying to keep her rested, And I'm going to have to go out soon. Yeah, I'm glad you did too, Leanne. I really am, because I would never realize. I was wondering too. I hadn't seen you for a while, and I just thought you were doing your own thing, and whatever. But I didn't think you were blocked. My God. Me and technology, it takes me a few rounds before I figure things out sometimes. Bree was on a live the other day, actually. Yeah, she was on a live the other day talking about how somebody said uh, Gypsy only had 2 teeth removed. And she goes, no, she didn't. She had 6 teeth removed and probably more than that. We've got receipts. And she started showing up all this paperwork about Gypsy's teeth. So yeah, she's around. She's still around. I didn't bother to download that one because I didn't find it very interesting, Gypsy's teeth. Is Toddy still suing Nina? Is she really? Because I haven't heard nothing about that after. Not Nina, sorry. Nina was suing Bree. That's what it was. Sorry, I got that confused. My bad. Toddy was suing Bree. That's what it was. That's what it was. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Blair. I appreciate that. I will let her know you guys are all praying, thinking about her. She doesn't realize what a lovely bunch of people I converse with every day. She's 82. She doesn't really get what I do, if you know what I mean. She does go on the internet though, and she plays her little casino games, not the real ones, but the ones you play for fake money, and she loves that. Yeah, Flora Gout, mine was exactly the same. Mine was crawling at about 6, 7 months and then walking at 11 months. But my oldest one was 13 months. 13 months old before he started walking. He just wouldn't let go. He was walking around furniture fine. He probably could have walked sooner if he just let go, but he didn't want to let go. He had trust issues, I think. Oh, geez. Anyway, guys, I'm going to close up chat right now. And I thank you all, you guys, for showing up. And anybody that donated or gave me a super chat, gifted memberships. Thank you, Cherokee Girl. She's the best one for that. And I'm going to do this again, I think, every weekend now. How's that? How if we do it live every weekend? Sounds good to me. What about you guys? If you guys are up for it, I'll do it every weekend. Sundays is the best day because, it's a down day. Nobody's rushing around doing stuff. But I know school's going to be starting up soon, so a lot of people are going to be out shopping on the weekends for back to school stuff. I'm glad you had a blast, Rachel. I'm so glad. Thank you too, Fox and Faye. Glad you could come. You too, Maria. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all showing up. Okay, I'm out. Bye.